So, coming from CNBC, Perplexity plans IPO in 2028, regardless of what happens to Anthropic or OpenAI, CEO tells CNBC. So I kind of think this is interesting because we're going to start seeing more of these AI companies planning for their IPOs or really planning for their futures out beyond this particular AI hype cycle. So as I've said many times before, the technologies that are involved in this thing called artificial intelligence are very valuable. Neural networks are valuable, LLMs, reasoning models, all of these things are incredibly valuable. My big question is, are they as valuable as, Elon Musk and Sam Altman and Dario think they are, right? SpaceX being worth $1.77 trillion because they're going to be launching AI data centers, once an hour using mass drivers on the moon, because that makes half an ounce of sense, right? So one of the big things that I've talked about is that AI is a pivotal foundational technology for the future. It doesn't actually mean it's worth nearly as much money as these companies say it is. And so one of the curious things is right now we're going through the hype cycle for artificial intelligence. We have SpaceX that is going to IPO on Friday. We have Anthropic that has already put in their S1 filings with the SEC. We have OpenAI that just put in their S1 filings for the SEC. They're trying to IPO for over $1 trillion, and it's going to be curious to see what happens over the next few months, basically with all of those IPOs. Do they go to the moon? I'm not sure how. Again, they're already IPOing for $1 trillion. I'm not sure how much further they can go, or do they sink? The important thing to understand, though, is regardless of whether they do really well, or regardless of whether they fail, in a few years, right, AI technology is still going to be around, and it is still going to be providing value to users. And so a lot of the AI companies that exist that aren't kind of like these front runners, these big names that you know about, they're kind of looking to that future and saying, whatever happens now, we want to make sure that we are going to be a viable company out in that period of time. And so that's what's interesting right now with Perplexity coming out and saying that they're probably going to IPO in 2028. Basically, what they're then signaling to the world is, look, we are not going to IPO during this hype cycle. Because one of the issues you can have is if you IPO during the hype cycle, let's say your valuation, the value for your company goes through the roof, but it's completely and utterly absurd. Your revenue doesn't allow that to happen. Your P&E ratio doesn't make a damn bit of sense. The offerings that you have, that doesn't make any sense. So all of a sudden you have this spike in value for the company. Then people realize, well, that doesn't make any sense, and then the value of the company drops. And that can be a pretty ugly thing. So by saying that you're going to IPO a few years in the future, you're saying, look, we're here, we're stable, we have a good path, we are going to IPO, but we're going to IPO when it actually makes sense. So anyways, if we go and we take a look at this, we got Perplexity here. Perplexity is one of those interesting companies. Like, you heard a lot about Perplexity a couple of years ago, and now it kind of comes up every once in a while. Perplexity is planning to go public in 2028, regardless of how the market receives the listings of Anthropic and OpenAI. CEO told CNBC, quote, agnostic of these two companies, we were planning for something in 2028, so that still remains the case. He said in an interview that aired on Tuesday, he has previously said the company has no plans to go public before 2028. His latest comments suggest a more concrete timeline. Quote, I certainly think there will be ripple effects if they don't go well. Like, there is no sugarcoating on that. The SpaceX IPO this week will definitely be a leading indicator to how Anthropic or OpenAI will go. Quote, I think it's important for the AI industry that these IPOs go well, and I actually think they will go well because they're doing well. The interesting question here, though, again, like, this is the weird thing with the AI world. Well, they're doing so well. I mean, like, they don't have profit. They don't really have a road to profitability. The entire market is becoming saturated with competition. The value of the product that they're trying to offer is dropping by the day, but they're doing well. Like, I mean, sure. Whatever. Oh, let's see here. The valuations of both Anthropic and OpenAI, known as frontier labs because their models are among the leading in the world, are under scrutiny from investors. Yes. The CEO said that both companies deserve their high valuations because, quote, they are on the frontier. And this is the weird thing with these AI valuations. They deserve the high valuations because they are on the frontier. But as we've talked about many times before, right? First mover advantage doesn't necessarily matter at the end of the day, right? Yahoo was on the frontier. It got sold as a tax write-off. MySpace was on the frontier. It got sold as a tax write-off, right? BlackBerry was the first smartphone, and now it is so forgotten. People literally call the iPhone this first smartphone, right? The fascinating thing is just because you're on the frontier, from a practical sense, that does not mean your company or corporation is actually going to be successful. Even if you are the first mover, even if you have the best product out there, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be successful, right? Macro forces and a whole bunch of other things going on. And so it's just so interesting to hear in this whole AI world, right? They deserve a $1 trillion valuation because they're such good little boys. Haven't you seen all the gold stars they have? They have so many gold stars. They are definitely worth $1 trillion. Like that doesn't make sense. And it's even more interesting when we get to the end of this. A slowdown in the pace of innovation may dent their valuations, he said, adding that there is no sign of this happening now. Again, the whole idea of the pace of innovation, I would actually argue about that though. Is the pace of innovation not slowing down? When you look at AI now, I mean, is innovation actually speeding up? I got a question there. I've actually got a question on that one. Quote, if for 6 months you don't see a model capability advance from one of these two companies, then it's a problem for them. And the other thing too, again, we hear about this model capability advance. With so much of the advances we're getting now, they are so incremental. They are improving, but how much does it matter? Perplexity's product is based on models from various companies. Its AI, when prompted, will figure out the best model to use for the particular task, taking into account cost. Here's the interesting thing. Quote, if there is an open source model that gets the job done 90% of the time, I'd probably use that if it's 10 to 20 times cheaper than the frontier model. The CEO explained, the future is still awesome for frontier intelligence, but it's not going to be mindless spending as we saw in the last few months. And so this is where I talk about, like, I'm not reading between the lines. I'm literally reading the lines. And so with here, I mean, basically he's saying they deserve their high valuations because they are on the frontier. But then when he comes down here and he talks about he literally talks about his own business, right? And he says, look, if I can find a model that gets the job done 90% of the time and is 10 to 20 times cheaper than the frontier model, I'm going to use it. And that's where I talk about with the small language models. I talk about with these models that are more optimized and more specifically trained to do tasks. And as I've argued many times, I think that is the future. I think smaller models that have more specifically trained on doing certain tasks, I think those are the models that are going to win at the end of the day. We think about this there's a South Korean model, which, surprise, surprise, actually is like one of the best models for Korean. Follow me here, right? Because when you train a model, when you put information through the neural network, right? Basically, all it's looking is for patterns, just looking for patterns. And so one of the things when they created the South Korean model, what they decided to do is that they were only going to train it on Korean. Right? Because when you train a model on English and French and German and Russian and Korean and Swahili and everything else, right? You might get some statistical relationships that you're just not expecting. Right? I think about this. I had one of my viewers who's apparently Russian, and he was talking about like verb and noun position in Russian, I guess gets really squiggly. Like when we use nouns and verbs in English, there's a specific way they're done, but in Russian it gets a little bit squiggly, right? So think about this: you're throwing both English and Russian through a neural network. You might get some statistical relationships that you're simply not expecting, especially if you don't actually know Russian or whatever else. So with the Korean model they came up with, they only trained it on information in Korean. And so if you're Korean and you need to ask a question about Korean type stuff, the results that it gives you is actually far better than a lot of the other models out there. And so that is a smaller, more specifically trained model. And so it's curious here, again, the CEO of Perplexity, coming out, right? You give me 90% of the performance at 10 to 20%, price reduction, or 20x price reduction. I'm probably going to go for that. And you look at what like OpenAI is trying to sell, right? OpenAI's big claim to fame is bigger and better models. When Gemini 3 Pro came out, right, OpenAI was coming out with all these integrations, right? All the integrations that would integrate into OpenAI, right? All of these kind of subroutines. Literally, Sam Altman pulled his employees off of creating those integrations to more focus on that frontier model. And as I've been arguing for a long time now, I don't think the actual value is in the frontier model. I would argue the real value, again, in 2026, is in all the integrations. The model itself is fine. Stop running the model, start focusing on other stuff. So anyways, we're gonna see how all this works out at the end of the day. But I think companies like Perplexity are probably in a really good position because AI provides value. It really does. It does not appear that Perplexity has been overinvested in. I'm not quite sure what their current valuation is, but it doesn't seem like they're overinvested in. So basically, if they can come out in 2028 and basically say we are model agnostic, so we can use any model, whatever model works best for us and is the cheapest, we'll use that. They didn't have the entire boom. They didn't have to worry about the boom bust cycle. I think that might put them in a pretty good position. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see how all this works out. Maybe they'll get purchased by OpenAI. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? So what do you think about this with Perplexity basically pushing their IPO off till 2028? Do you think that makes a lot of sense? Try to get that IPO. Say the IPO is going to be outside of the blast radius of whatever the hell is about to happen. What do you think about with this? Where again, like he sits there and he says, well, they deserve $1 trillion valuations because they're on the frontier. And then he turns around and literally says, but for my company, the frontier models aren't actually that valuable. Are you starting to understand my little frustration with this kind of stuff? I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. If you like these episodes and you want them on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, there's a link in the doobly-doo. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.